Welcome everybody to 48 Talk episode 164.
Oh.
Hello, I'm your
Yo.
host, Rage Body as always. Joining me this time is the usual crew of DX Takamina on the right, Derek on the bottom left, and Colin Johnson on the bottom right. How has everybody been?
The usual?
Well,
Nothing much has changed actually, so yeah.
we are having horrible weather in these past few weeks.
Yeah.
It was
Every weekend.
It was noticeable on my vacation as well. I had a great time in London. We had one day where there was actually sunshine, and the plane ride back was horrible because the lots of turbulence. Like this plane was just not keeping steady.
Oh, that's the worst.
Well, luckily 2 days later they announced, no flights. So I'm still happy that I could come back. Came home and my fence is gone. Like this one just like broke completely, so we have to fix that.
God.
Yay, storms.
Woohoo.
We are
Yeah,
currently
yeah.
on the storm letter E, I believe. So it's
Yeah, something like that.
something like
Basically, Netherlands has become Kazaninare. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So to release some tension.
Well, we're just so good at this. Like
So bad.
we're good. We're good.
Okay, so
Okay.
this doesn't
Here
happen
we go.
much, I would say. This rarely happens in this way, but basically we have a lot of high tension MVs to compare. So what I did is, I don't know about you guys, but I went back to all the high tension versions and compared
Oh, wow.
them to the newer versions, basically. So what I look about this, and basically each version has their own thing, basically, and it's and when I look at them, compare them to them all of the versions have something to talk about positively. There are also versions that are talk about negatively, and we'll probably mention this on this. I could say I would like to first then compare it to the BNK48 version. And I will take notes on what other versions what they try to do, or what the message was. And for starters, basically what the BNK48 version is trying to do is pay homage to the original High Tension. There are multiple moments, the way the story is being told, the finger snapping, how the MV is being told.
Yeah.
The song itself is flat, I would say. It's really that you can tell that it's being light. It could have been a lot more oomph in there, a lot more tension. You're gonna hear this pun a lot in this.
Point. Yeah, okay.
In this, but I
Here
think
we go.
the most we can compare for this with every song is, well, the MV is the big difference. The song
Yeah.
itself, it's a language barrier, but if I have to compare BNK48 with any others, it's the most light version, the most calm version on this, compared to the rest. And if I compare it to the MNL48 High Tension, it has a lot more stronger, but it's a completely different version to any other High Tension, I would say.
True. MNL version, if you compare it, is way different, I would say. Might be a center kind of thing, but we'll get into it later. I would
Well,
say.
that's more the visual, I would say. But on song-wise, the language difference. You know the part when in AKB version you go oh do re like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they have their own version on that side. The weakest one is the BNK48 version. I really like with MNL48, they keep it in their style, and it's just dance. Just basically they're saying dance all the time because that's the message they want to portray here. So pure song-wise, what do you guys think with these versions?
To be quite honest, when maybe it might be the Thai language that isn't really fit for the high tension song, but it felt, if you compare it to the Japanese, and I haven't watched the JKT version yet, So no, I didn't watch it or rather rewatched it yet, so I can't compare it to that one. But compared to the BNK, if you compare it to Japan and Manila, I would say it felt a bit softer on the softer side indeed. Yeah, it didn't have as much impact as you'd expect it to be, if that's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Colin?
And
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Ro.
No. Yeah, go for it. That's what I was to say.
Well, go ahead, Colin.
So I'm not gonna do it like you guys. I just look at it as it of itself. I can't say about what you said about the song. The Odo Ray part, I love that part in the original. It's really hyping me up. And I think JKT, if I can give an example, did it great with just making it "Let's Go Dance," which I've always loved since the first time I heard it last year. I think it's the greatest way to hype me up. I didn't get quite that with BNK.
Yeah.
I will agree there. It's light. It's light. Yeah, I would say it's light. That's the only part of the song I can really, look at. They could have. Yeah, no, it's the only part that I can look at and be like, in that way with the JKT one, I would prefer it like that. And in and of itself, it's fine. It's okay. It doesn't quite do it for me all that much, but it's all right. I dig it. The rest of the MV, I get what they're okay. So, elephant in the room. The first time I watched it, I noticed. I realized I knew it. There was something off. I couldn't really quite put it, but I realized there was something different about it, and I learned why. The video has been produced by the Ska, which is a YouTube group which BNK has done collabs with.
Comedy
stuff for a while. Yeah, they've been doing stuff for a while, and for some reason or another, I don't know what the reason is, they were allowed to produce it, and you can tell.
You can really
very
tell.
different.
You can really tell.
Which is a pity because, I mean, it's not that because they're YouTubers they can't do it. I just think they didn't have a good enough experience. I think they should have, if they were to have done it, differently, do a B-side first before do an A-side.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the best way because I don't know if they have any kind of experience in this kind of thing, to really produce like a music video. So,
but yeah, it felt, if you compare it to the 77 Stacking the Mache and High Tension, the quality-wise, it felt like it was cut in half pretty much.
Yeah,
that's how I perceived it in any case. So I don't know. It's more like, is this the same group or is this the same production company? But then you told me it's a new production company, and then it's like, now it makes sense. Yeah.
It's very simple with the difference. It's spacing. It's more closed off in High Tension. It's like this one. It's like this cubicle that you're stuck in at every location, and even the train station. I still find it as a cubicle because normally train stations should be busy as hell. And it's like you're like, yeah, here's a group of people waiting for the train. That's what the feeling is with this one. What the last one, the 47. It felt like this is huge. We're showing everywhere, and this big open spaces and nice camera shots. This one was really closed off and yeah, felt limited on that side. So I agree with that.
I get what they were going with the theming. I think I like it. It did what it needed to do. It's fine. Could have done it differently, but I don't like to think in how it could have been instead of what it is. So I just look at it as it is.
Yeah. So we'll break that down.
But I love the snapping. That was great. I just like that. I don't know exactly why.
Yeah.
I love the animation shots. Like they just have a animation.
Oh yeah.
For them of a second. I just like that. I love animation. So it's like 2D animation. Of course, this is. Which is just. I just love that. I didn't know it would have done it, but that's great. And I really think that Namnung, regardless of everything, was fantastic. With honorable mention to Jane, who was also amazing, beautiful. She really stood out to me.
Yeah.
But I would notice her anyway. But I still think that she did. But Namnung, great. I think she really fit the original song of AKB High Tension better than Paru. But that's an opinion.
That's not that hard though.
I would say she was a good fit, and with the success, the really, really monster hit of the Didong, I really think that she has a shot in the general election. which we
Ooh.
get to later.
We'll
But
get to it later, though.
I would have loved just saying if she wins, I'm going to be absolutely happy with that. That would be
same, yeah.
really amazing.
That makes two of us, man. That makes two of us.
Okay.
Exactly.
Before we break the MV more down, just let hear Derek about purely the song, and then we go to breaking the entire MV down if you want. So Derek, purely song-wise, what do you think the BNK version?
Well, it's interesting, Colin. I'll be happy for you if your girl wins too, because I did think she was kind of a standout in that. That's kind of funny. Me and you, scarily enough, here are actually in agreement, at least on this point. And then also, I agree with you. The JKT version with the Odore part is so like I just get so pumped when I hear their version. I thought they did it really well too. So we're both in agreement there. The interesting thing as far as just the song, like when you look at like the Japanese, like the odore is like it's the imperative. It means like get your butt out there and dance.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like that it really pops in every one except like you nailed it, Rob, except the BNK one, only because I felt like it wasn't high tension. And also too, like you have to understand, like from a song standpoint, it's interesting the overall poppiness of the song in general, because the phrase high tension, in Japanese language, it's used here in a different way than maybe Westerners might think of. Because because Westerners, when you think of high tension, what do you guys, each of you, I'm curious what each of you would think of when you think of that phrase high tension. What do you guys think of?
Energetic.
Energetic? Okay.
Yeah, okay, so...
Yeah, it's hyped pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is, the song, if you know the lyrics and by the hint of the song, high tension is totally the opposite what the song is telling you about. It's you have high tension stress at work, and you need to release that tension. This is basically what the song is about. It's like, don't focus too much about work, don't focus too much out, go out there and have fun. That's what basically is, and that's what you mean, Derek. For us, we're hearing high tension. It needs to be like, yeah, let's go. We're hyped up and ready to go. And here it means like the song is to there, go out and have fun and don't think about all that tension, high tension you have at work or in your day-to-day life. If I'm getting correct with that.
Yeah, so like I had a slightly different take on that, but you're right. I mean, you nailed it in another way. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because language here is this is classic AKB playing around with ideas and words and terms. But like high tension is a phrase you would use here, for example, if like you're at a idol live, and everybody in the crowd is freaking out, and like the stage is hot, and the girls are just pumping on set, but they're just going crazy. You might say, "Oh, live got squid high tension," like high tension da. Like you say, high tension is this like phrase used to describe a situation where it's a party, it's an idea, it can be in your heart. It's like you can even feel that way about first meeting somebody, and like a lot of times when people meet me, they think like oh, Derek's, he's really high tension, because I go super crazy. Like I'm always real Genki and happy when people meet me normally, and so like that phrase can be used in that way, and I like on a song level that's really translated well in the JKT version, actually, a lot. AKB, of course, I thought they nailed it, but interestingly enough, who did they have as the front person? The most non-high tension girl in all of AKB. And again, that's the genius of AKB back then. You have Paruru, and they have a song called High Tension, what I just explained. It's it's funny. It's Japanese humor at its finest. Also keep in mind, and this is jumping just slightly a bit into what we talk about overall with these, but did you notice in the AKB version of the MV how many comedians were in it? How many variety stars?
A lot.
To counterbalance, Paruru's like dry, like this,
flatness,
and so
flatness indeed,
but again, it's because we think high tension, and so it's just very interesting. BNK, I think it was lost in the mix. I just think culturally they can't even hold a candle to that sort of double meaning because it's not their it's not their language, not their terminology. I don't hold it against them. I don't think any of the other groups really did that except JKD. Just again, I'm with Colin there. I just felt something there. It was a little bit more charisma. Just overall, I can't explain it. They had a je ne sais quoi, like I don't know what, but I would say AKB, really crushes that concept. Really does that sly wink with Parudu in the front. Really has, I think, encapsulates the high tension component versus the BNK thing. It was more like I was just watching a video. Of course, and all love and respect to our honorable students of the AKB family. But this is probably the worst thing I've ever seen from them. But we'll get into the why because it's not even this. Song wise, it was flat, but I just think that was a translation thing.
Yeah.
I think you hit it on the nose, Robin.
So,
but we'll get into all that stuff later.
So let's go and break down this MV. Basically, what is it? So BNK48 is trying to homage the style that they had with AKB48. The biggest problem I'm seeing in this version is the amount of people in the background. And
funny you say that, just based on what Derek reminded me of, that the AKB version has comedians.
Yeah,
the people
YouTubers.
in the background are YouTubers. They're Thai YouTubers, I heard, which I did not know. I don't know, but it's
still it's fine. They still use the concept of being then comedians or celebrities or semi-celebrities on that side and using it there.
Yeah,
but that was my biggest problem as well, because when you watch the AKB version, it comes out, you see it's not hundreds of people, but you feel like, oh, this is so crowded now. Oh, they're so excited, and they try to do it, but it felt like flat. And I'm seeing in the background, I'm seeing one of this guy being like doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they're trying to give this energy high, but if the background doesn't, you're supposed to be supporting the basically the group on itself.
Background was detracting pretty much, to be quite honest.
Very, very distracting at some points because it was so low tension on that side, and that went out through the entire video. Colin, I agree with you. I really like every time they snapped. I wished they held on a second longer. It went too quickly by to appreciate the animated version of that. I wish they was like bam, and you just see them. Because
a bit longer.
I hated in AKB's high tension that the snapping was so much and it was distracting to me for the song. But when you fill it in with something to keep my eye on it because of the snap, and it was animated, perfect. I wish it was a little bit longer, because I wish I was I didn't have to pause the video to see all the nice animation.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever did that, by the way, beautiful, very artistic and style on that, and I really liked those moments in there. Throughout the start of the video, when you see the puppeteers basically at work on that, I get it, because in the original you have also the startup before the tension comes in there. Was too long. It was like combining, it was too slow, and you felt like the song is already starting. You already should have the startup, because in the original it's like everybody's already throwing out papers, starting, see locations. Here it was like, oh, we still need to convince people. I did like the little Easter egg in there, I believe, because they went to the office and you see someone on the BNK48 homepage, and that's the manager, right? That's Job.
Yeah,
Job. That was his name.
You can easily identify what being involved. Yeah, he is again.
I love that he's in there. And he played homage to also what happened in the original AKB48 version. There's one scene where the guy is pulling the cart and he does the smiling every time up. He's basically driving the cart in there in what is a common what do you call it, vehicle used in traffic in Thailand. So that's fine. The locations in there was good, but the problem is every time they're trying to pay homage to the original, but it felt like a weaker version, and that gave me the biggest in there. everything else was fine. You know, the girls they're doing great. They're doing dances, but it felt every time it was just not right. Just it felt like all flat. Location wise, at the end as well, it felt like okay, here's a handful of people, and not like.
It should have been a big crowd, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so in AKB, I didn't like it in the original because I didn't like the colors going at me too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is what I meant. Like the coloring is still nice to the eyes.
Yeah.
But I liked for the fact when in the original you can see it's a party. It's like we are really having a party. And then what's that place called? The robot.
Robot restaurant.
Yeah, basically that's a big location. That's a big party location.
Exactly.
You emphasize, hey, this is a party. Come join us. This May is like. What are these people doing? They're like having this weird gathering. Like, I don't know.
Office party.
Yeah, it felt too small. It didn't felt the same scale as the AKB version. It felt a bit small, a bit too small, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out basically on that way.
So it's like, nice try. That's basically my feeling with this whole MV. It's like, nice try on that. So, yeah, that's basically my opinion on the BNK version. Anyone else want to add onto this?
I did like the coloring here. It was that one I didn't like about the original. It's like it's too bright, too pop, and it's like it didn't mix well. And I think this one mixed it way better. I like the costume, still keeping in theme, but doing it better. All in all, I can say that it is the blame you can put it on is the people behind it. I don't know them. Can be great people. They probably are. But I think because they lacked the experience required for the usual game, they tried. They did good things. They didn't quite get it, which I will say, it's lacking in experience, having not had the proper time and experience. I sound like a broken record. To really work on it, to tweak things, get a better revision, learn. They started with there's an expression for it, but I'm blanking. They started too early with the big game, but they should have worked on it quietly, slowly, and build it up. I think it's the biggest weakness is the people. Again, good people. I can't say anything bad about them. The
direction.
Yeah, the direction. The direction of it.
Yeah, and it
wasn't quite
experience. Yeah.
That's it.
Derek, do you have anything to add?
Oh, quite a bit. Just DX, do you have anything to add?
If we're going pure on the BNK wise, it felt a bit like before I knew it was the new production company that took over. It felt like this isn't the BNK I know. I've known them for high standard, high quality MVs, but it's more like, what happened? Did someone take over? Was there a hostile takeover or something? Because it didn't quite feel the same. So it's more like something is going on. And then I looked around, and then it's more like, yeah, now I know why. So there's that. But most of it has already been told from what I wanted to say. This. So take it away, Derek.
Well, okay, just a couple questions for you guys, actually, and probably more to Colin, since Colin's sort of our resident BNK expert here. First of all, was there a reason or an explanation as to why this high tension MV came out same time as MNL? Like, for the most part, like, then what, the same week? I mean, does anybody know? Like,
No
or
clue.
do you just
I
think
don't
that's
know.
some
Actually, no
coincidence?
clue.
I would say coincidence.
Coincidence.
It comes
It
down
has
to
to be.
speculation if they were aware of it from one another.
Controversy, more
Can
views,
they-
comparing
can they-
what we're doing right now. Remember when NMB and SKE had same singles at the same time? In
Oh, right. Don't look back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Don't look back. No, Coquetis to Taishi, I think, right?
yeah, so it's like getting that same view type and comparing, and a little competition to each other. Competition is always a healthy way of doing this thing.
Competition is not a bad thing. I just didn't know if maybe there was any talk about that. Because the reason why is because the production value. I'm wondering if they had wanted to spend more time, but they wanted to get it out same time as MNL to kind of say, look, we're gonna throw up the guns, see who's better. I didn't know. So okay, so that's if we don't know, we don't have to speculate either. Number two, costumes. Do we know anything about the costumes? Are they traditional Thai? Is there Am I going to step on anybody's feet before I say anything? Because I'm not trying to do that, but I'm about to get into something here. But do we know anything about the costumes?
Hey,
nothing in particular.
Not right now, but maybe after this we know.
I'm sure we will.
Perhaps.
Well, first of all, fans that watch, especially BNK fans, if you guys do know anything about the release dates, if you have any inside scoop, give it to us. I am very curious if that was just a happy coincidence, good healthy rivalry, whatever. I didn't know if that would tie into the production. Two, costume wise, we have discussed costumes before of groups and were completely destroyed by that in the comments, so please don't do that here. I'm just giving an opinion. I'm going to try to be very sensitive to all of you. I just did not care for the costumes. I thought they looked very much thrown together. I don't know. I don't feel there was any thought put into them. Compared to, I can't believe I'm saying this, MNL's amazing rendition of what they were wearing. I know, can't believe I'm saying that, but honestly, like, compared to that, like, it's not fair to compare them to AKB, of course, but I'm just saying, like, I just felt like, again, that fell flat for me too. And I'm starting there because I wanted to say overall the B&K video, Robin, I think you actually nailed it. It just felt smaller. Although I had no idea there was a change in production company or like people doing it. That makes total sense because, again, up to this point, I'm used to the epic quality of the MVs, that the color grading of the MVs alone, just on an editing footage. The other ones were rich. They're thick. They look really appealing. This one, it was like this to me. I don't know. So I feel like everything was smaller. But where you say, Robin, this was an homage, for me, my first impression was plagiarism. And I don't mean to use such a strong word. Again, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings here. But I almost felt like there was no thought process whatsoever put into this. None. Zero. It was like, let's watch the AKB original. Okay, well, what's our budget? How many people can we hire? Let's get a bunch of people in there. Let's just basically do that and switch around a few places, but overall have the same concept. The animation, I think on its own is okay. I thought in the context of MV, it made the MV look super cheap to me. It almost was, to me, it was like, what else can we do to spice this up? Animation. Let's throw that in. I've never been a fan of mixing live with animation unless you're doing it in an extremely clever and smart way.
I have one for you.
Oh, please, go ahead.
It's the one they did for the video game promotion, also with Paru, Masujuna, and Sakura. It's the unya.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like it has its place. I don't feel like it's done very well in almost all instances. That's not even just being case fault. That's just a hard thing to pull off in general as a videographer, as anybody putting together film. So I don't even care about that. What I care about is the fact that this is like our honor roll student, and they turned in a paper with, a lot of the answers wrong, I guess. I guess that would be the analogy I'm trying to make here. Although I don't want to use the word wrong because there's nothing wrong. These are just opinions here. These are just opinions, people. But I'm going to say, like, it just felt... I was just kind of like, okay, this is your pass, BNK. This is your pass. Normally, you guys are grade A all the time. I'll give you an okay on this one. You guys put out into this. And it's truly the worst, most awful thing I've ever seen BNK do. Only because they did not do what they normally do, which was take a song and make it completely their own and do something really original and interesting and incorporate Thai culture. It was just, like you said, there's just too little amount put into it. And like, it just, and I'm glad you caught, Robin, like, even the extras in the back were like, yeah,
it's
we're
soft.
getting paid. It's soft. It doesn't like bang, and also, like, again, this isn't BNK's fault, but the star power in the original AKB48, my God, I watched it, to do research, and I'm like, there's Sashi, there's Saine, there's Okadanana, there's Yukirin, it's like
Black hair Okadanana, just like, that's been so much, like, long ago.
Yeah. That's long ago, yeah.
Yeah, they put her all the kids on the playground, and she was so happy. And it's like, now she's not a kid anymore; she's grown up. Which, again, I think that's almost like a sly wink that AKB's given us, because they put a lot of thought into that. I mean, I've been I've been to all those places. Well, not all those. I'm sorry. I've been to like those big places that they were at, like the Robot Cafe, or Robot, like the Robot Cafe. I've been there. I've seen the show. I've been down there. When you walk in, you see pictures of the AKB members on the wall because they were so proud that like Yuihan went and visited and things like that, and like they were just so happy AKB was there, and it's part of Shinjuku's like Kabukicho culture, which I thought AKB was so brave for going to Kabukicho, notorious for being like this like sleazy underbelly. They lightened it up. They lightened it up, and it's like I didn't get any sense of culture from this, and it's like I don't know. Like I'm like, okay.
Unless the train station is very famous or something. I don't know.
I get exactly. So again, people comment, Thai fans, we love you. You know we do. Just give us some feedback. Like, what was the situation? Although Colin, I think you nailed it. I mean, it's just production change.
Well,
but it's a big change.
That's the thing. So we are all foreigners, of course. Duh.
Of course.
But with the Japanese version, look, personally, I wasn't in Japan at the time. But seeing the locations, I'm like, that seems pretty important. That seems pretty important. That seems famous. With this one, I feel like office, train station.
Yeah.
They're somewhere on a. I don't know where they were. That's the feeling I'm having. And with the other one before, with the 47 prefectures, they're showing the locations like, hey, this is a famous place. Hey, this is where you can go. This is where you go and visit. That was the difference in this one. So I totally get that idea, and maybe for Thai fans they're like, oh yeah, I've been to that station before, or like that, but it's supposed to be also to a foreigner style, be like, I should recognize this place, or I should learn about this place, or teach me about this place in this song, and they didn't. That's the difference with this, I would say.
So you want to go to that abandoned building from beginner?
No, it's I think in this case. I think in this case, like with the High Tension MV by AKB, it was a snapshot of the culture at that time that really was great because they brought in all like a lot of the more famous people, like the Ichiro like impersonator. He was in there, and they had the one dude that has a really strong jaw guy that usually plays like I think like tough guy Yakuza in like movies. He was in there, like a lot. There's so many Easter eggs of culture in the Japanese version, and then on top of that, again, the star power. I keep like I was thinking like almost everybody in that MV is not even in AKB anymore, and they're all gone. I mean, literally almost everybody, and it's just like you watch that. And you're like, this is such a different time. Such a different time. And on the scale, like comparing like AKB songs to like the other AKB singles and stuff, it's not certainly the most popular or the highest. I think it's aged well, though, in my opinion. I actually like it. I like the MV a lot. I think it's aged better because I remember at the time none of us were really like all that hyped about it.
I
remember that.
Robin definitely wasn't.
Could you imagine that we've been doing the show long enough for the original High Tension to come out?
Oh god, yeah. Wow, what the?
I remember.
Now that you say it, now that you mention it, yeah, wow.
That's
I remember, I remember not liking that song back then. So because of the whole disco thing, I didn't like. Oh my god.
Right, same here. I remember we were all like, eh. But I would say overall, the BNK version, it was a big letdown for me. I'm gonna give them a pass because every other time they do amazing work. I would say no message to the management and staff of BNK. Go back to whoever you were using. Because sorry, YouTube company. Sure, you're nice people, as Colin said, and sure, you're a great company. You are not right for making idol videos. You're just not. So, or at least not on this one. Maybe you're gonna knock it out of the park the next one. Maybe you'll learn from this, which will be great. But you got to go back to school on this one because it just was too small. Office it's like you couldn't pick more boring places, man. And also on top of that, it just didn't feel to me like there was any real effort put into it that made sense given the song, And so I don't know. I have to give it a really solid D on this one. But again, it's okay because if we're looking at this from a year-long perspective, 1 D out of 100 A papers, that's not even going to affect your grade a little.
It does lower the average a lot though, but.
But they're still good. I mean, again, it's BNK.
Still good. They're still good.
Right.
Okay, so then we're gonna move on to the other version that I saw that was MNL48's High Tension.
Yep.
I'll be the first to say, when the teaser came out, I was not looking forward to it. I'm like, what the hell is this? What do you mean this is high tension? Or this doesn't look okay? I was wrong. I was completely wrong. Opposite wrong. Um, so first up, I'm gotta say for MV wise, the MVP out of this MV is the center Gabrielle. I'm gonna butcher this name so badly. Skribeking. Well, Gabriella or Gabrielle. She is just like, here I am. This is like really the focus on the MV, and really the camera is currently in love with her. That is so good choice of her to being a center. That really stole this MV completely for me. It's look wise just in there, the intention out there. It's a totally different version compared to the AKB48 version. Um, the way they build it up, it's the other MVs. They have like a little story they want to tell. No, we go right into the song. I talked about with the other versions, you have people in there, in the background. This was different. They are saying, we are having a party. You can come join us. That's basically the feeling.
Yeah.
But they're having a blast. They're really going in there. There is thing that was like, I don't like it too much. That really was the downside for me in this MV. There are a lot of slow moments. There's like, we need to pan out the slow, and just the group just looking at the camera, just like, that feeling. And the dancing, it could have been a more dancing moments. When they were dancing in the moments, I like that. That's really the part in there. But they told their own story in this MV, and they really, what I liked is they were English subtitles in the MV right away. So I was like, that saves a lot of time and to give more opinion on that. But it's really the story is like, forget about work. You have a busy week. Come dance. Come have a party with us. And that's basically what this whole song was in there. And it kept following me. It kept me interested. It was telling the story, just party. There was nothing else going on where location-wise, the theming was staying the same. And again, Gabriella was there so strong, really strong. Her face visuals were so inviting, basically very intense, like, this is a rockin' party and you should be here. And that's what really this MV told me about. So I really like this version. And props to what we said about the camera work in the past about this. There are some very good moments in there. Just like very, very good moments with taking the shots, like long, beautiful shots on the side. Just again, the slow motion part was too much for me. And I'm thinking, you could have cut that out, just more real-time moments in there and showing that there's really a party going on. Not much to expand on compared to the BNK48, I want to say, because it was very solid. It was like, we're not going everywhere. This is basically, we're going to this location, and this location. And like I said, I didn't like when they're sitting down with the balloons and the shot goes and they're quiet on that point, stuff like that. The redness, I did not get, like, why it was fully red in there and very intense feeling, but it didn't, how do you say, it didn't quite feel right. It's like, the lighting was not necessary, I would say. I do like the black and white versions, like we're having like the silver white, basically having the happy
silver, exactly,
and a little more black darkness rock version on that side. So yeah, black and white, very easy, two different type of parties, but you should just have fun and come on and dance, basically, in this message of an MV. So what do you guys think?
Interesting take, actually. Yeah. When I first watched the MV myself, I actually was like, I'm a bit iffy about due to the whole teaser back from the few days prior. It's like, I'm not sure what to expect from this. So I went in and we got it over with. And so funnily enough, it was really good. Actually, I find it quite enjoyable. Actually, it's more like I'm going in with an open mind, and it's more like, okay, cool, this is really cool actually. And then for me, there is one person that basically carries this, that really carried this MV, and that is Gap the center pretty much. Once once she is in the shot, you can't take her eyes off her. She has that kind of pulling power. For me, it's for this song in any case. MNL has found their ultimate center, I would say. For this song in this particular case.
Easily.
Yeah.
I can't wait to her to do Uza.
Same here, actually. Yeah. Oh. But if they're going for so for me, as far as I'm concerned, if they're going to do any girl crush kind of style of songs or high energy kind of song, they have their center for that. So MV wise, there are a bit of iffy moments because the whole slow motion part, it kind of detracted for what's supposed to be a real energetic high level song. But maybe I have a feeling those slow parts were built in to give a bit of a breathing space.
Well, the thing with the slow parts is I like the slow parts when they were focusing on one member and you see like the clock or the sand.
Okay.
What do you call that thing? The little timer thing.
Hourglass.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word hourglass. But like that part, when she's with the puzzle, putting the pieces in there, those shots are fine in slow motion. I do not like the long pan out moments, on the table, going in there, going down the fountain, just sitting and smiling there. That's not the good timing of the song, I would say.
Gotcha. No, but other than that, I will say I really enjoyed the MV way better than the BNK rendition of High Tension. So for this particular fight, in double in like it's fight match something like that, I would say winner goes for MNL in this case. So.
And I would like to hear about this one now, Colin.
I didn't watch it. I don't have.
That's true. Yeah, that is a very. You have your own opinion on that side, and then, yeah, it's okay. You don't need to. There's nobody forcing you to on that end, so that's okay. Then Derek.
Yeah, it's interesting, Colin, you said you didn't, because like I actually got a message from a concerned MNL fan earlier this week begging us to not review this video, like begging me and saying, look, I don't want you guys to say anything negative. We don't want to see, the MNL fans getting upset. And I'm just like, I mean, aside from the freedom of speech thing, it's like, have some faith and confidence in your girls. Like, they might actually surprise us. And guess what? They did. Let's just break it down, okay? First of all, videography-wise, again, I can't say it enough that whoever does their videography really should be fired and never hired again as a videographer. In fact, that person should stop being a videographer. That whole company, whoever's doing it, they should all stop. They should go do something else because they're not trained to do this correctly. You can't do the constant this and think that's cinematic. The slow-mo, individually, Robin, you're right. It works beautifully on the individual level. The long, slow pan shots, I'm like, what are they doing? The redness. Was I watching a horror MV? I was like, what is going on here? And then also, you never cardinal rule in Idol. You almost never try to keep the idol's face, out of this. So it's like you want to show the idols as much as you can, Now that's not always the case. There have been some certainly incredibly smart and clever videos that didn't even show the groups. So that aside, it's just like the MNL girls, for the most part, are all visually extremely appealing aesthetically. Like their looks, the way, I mean, they're gorgeous. Like some of those girls, they're very distinctive in their looks. So if I was doing it, I mean, I would not let my camera leave them. That being said, the best parts of the MV were when they were dancing. Because again, what can the MNL girls do really well? They can dance well and they can sing better than any of the other groups easily. I will definitely go to bat and say that. Like they have the best voices in all of the AKB family.
To be fair, though, High Tension is not really a dance, like high competitive version.
that's true. Fair enough. But here's the thing. Even that right there, they watch the MV with the MNL girls. Their feet are moving perfectly in sync
at the fountain.
with each other.
At the fountain part, that's great.
The fountain shot was amazing. It was amazing. That part alone made that better than the other MV, than the BNK MV, in my opinion, because that part alone, I was like, that's when I started looking at this MV like, oh, wait a minute, this is good. I think them trying to be artsy and doing with the balloon and stuff, it didn't quite work for me, but it wasn't as bad either as I thought it was going to be. It was nice try.
Yeah, but sitting in the chair with the red room and then doing this, like, that didn't work. That was it didn't do anything for me. But watching the girls, when you put them on the screen and you see them dance, it's like, holy crap, these girls are amazing. And also, too, did you guys notice with the girls, when they did this part, they raised their arms up and did it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's in the original AKB choreography. Can either any of you guys correct me on that?
It's basically tension like this. That's the part. But you mean the back row, they went up, right?
Yeah, everybody's arms went straight up and then they did like
that's
this.
Different. It was the side usually.
Okay, that's the creativeness I'm looking for. That little moment I remembered. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think that was in the original AKB choreography. Again, correct us if we're wrong here, people. But I think just that alone, I was like, there you go. However, none of this matters. What matters is one thing, one person to be exact. Freaking Gab. Oh my God, where has this girl been? Where have they been hiding this girl?
December 2019, when she changed her look. That's basically what it is.
Great change. Great change. That girl, every time she was on the screen, I was like, I cannot get enough of this girl. She had the look. She got the visual appeal. By the way, the costumes I thought were fun. I thought they were good. They were interesting. I definitely give them a lot of respect. They got the costumes right. I just felt like when she was on there, she had that look in her eyes. She had the idol wink. The
basically.
thing. You want to talk about animation?
She reminds me more of Hinatazaka in that part. She had like
yes.
that little boyish charm, tomboyish charm, basically in there, and showing that she is the center, basically the leader of that, with all the other members around them. But there were some other members that showed some character. I'm sorry if I don't know their names right now, but
one of them I would like to mention is Bells, because she is another carrier of this song for me.
Is that the tall one with the like the ponytail side, like curly ponytail?
No, I don't think that's her. Someone else, I think. But for me, it's Belle that also carried this song pretty much in the MV. So
yeah, you could definitely tell there was support. There was support in this song, but again, compared to Gabrielle, it's just like that was the strong center. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing another center there, but again, the songs you would really want to see her in are more like NMB style songs. Maybe Come On a Gigs or Escape from SKE.
Oh God, her and Come On a Gigs. Yep. Like, okay, here's the thing. Like this girl single-handedly saved this MV from being another MNL mess. Like, honestly, she crushed it. I mean, again, the other members were great though. When you put them on the screen and dancing, I mean, you just can't beat MNL when it comes to that. They got that down. That is not a problem. Again, why you don't just let those girls just have a whole dance video? I mean, just if you want to, you guys are, if you want to say, well, they don't have the budget and all this other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, put them on there and just have them dance. Have a dance video. I will totally watch that and A+ the crap out of that, because those girls know what they're doing. But the thing is, Gab just I was living for those shots. I actually watched this MV twice, which I don't normally do for MNL videos, because it's like there's nothing there for me to really hold on to. You watch it 4 times. Yeah, Gab just blew me the frick away. Like, I like when I see an idol who's a star. I like when I notice them, like, to give a comparison to Chica World, there's this group called Aphrodite, and they've been around forever, and they've had 1 million members, and they had their one-man live recently, and I've been really paying a lot of attention to them, really curious about, like, them. Their producer, Yasumoto-san, is a super nice guy, good friend. I don't say good friend, but, like, he's always nice to me. Like, always makes it a point to be very kind to me. And recently, when they had their one-man live, I went there, and I'm not saying this for brownie points. I'm not saying this so people can look and think I'm a nice guy or anything. I'm just maybe a little bit of idol culture here for you guys. I always feel it's important to bring a gift to something like a one-man live, because a one-man live in the idol world is a big deal, because it means you're carrying the entire show by yourself, and that's not easy to do. It really isn't. Normally, idol shows, they have tie-bonds, like where it's a bunch of groups. So
yeah, it is very important
cool.
because they announced like NMB's48 Shiro Amiru is now getting a solo live, and it's very important.
Right?
Look at the Yukirin lives; those are also very important every time she does one.
Super important. And it's not easy. It's not as easy as you might think. Even with star power, you still got that like, can I do it? Can I do it? Anyways, Aphrodite, like, their members are great, but they recently, I want to say fairly recently, they got this girl, Yua, I think is her name. I have not been able to nail her name down yet, because this group is still very fresh in terms of the names for me. This girl is like 7 feet tall. She is the LeBron of the Chica idol world. And I think she was a model. I mean, she certainly looks like it. She doesn't need to wear stuff on her face. She has like natural clear skin. Oh, there goes Robin.
Yeah, just a reset.
Okay.
Okay. Like, this girl, you can't take your eyes off this girl, because first of all, I'm not kidding when I say she's got to be 6'5", 6'4". She has to be, because I think I come up to the top of her leg. Like, when I stand next to her, I look like a little kid next to this girl. And on top of that, she's super kind. Like, I brought them all donuts, and I was like, here you go, here's some donuts. And they were so happy, because I talked with them before their one-man live, because Yasumo-san took me to the back, and like, here, Derek, talk to them. And I was like, girls, good luck, this is an important day for you. Here you go, here's some donuts. And then later, Yuapon tweeted with my donuts, and she had them.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one, yeah.
My heart was so overwhelmed by that, because it's like, this is a girl I'm instantly like into, and she did that. So like, expect me to work with this girl in the future on some level. I can't get my eyes on her. The reason I'm bringing her up is because Gab has that. She has that certain something. Like, for you, it's not just the fact she's 100 feet tall and like she makes all the other members look like dwarves. I mean, like, she's so tall, but it's the fact that when she dances, she's interesting looking, because just her movements are so big. Like, no pun intended, they just are. And also, she's model-esque. Like, she looks perfect. Like, there's nothing you would take on her face and rearrange. There's nothing you'd want to change in this girl. Literally perfection. And Gab, perfection. I really mean that. Like, I was blown away. And I'm not normally a big fan of like Asian girls dyeing their hair. Just overall, I'm not a big fan of that. But I think like it just worked. It just totally worked. You can't tell me MNL doesn't have a star. They don't have a leader. I don't know if they even had a leader really before. I mean, they kind of did with what was her name?
So
the one.
Go ahead.
The paper airplanes girl, like the one that led that.
I need to.
Who am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I slipped off the.
That girl's cool. Kay, of course, she's always gonna be the best girl ever in MNL history. No one is better than Kay. That's my Oshi opinion, and I can say that as a non-staff/fan. But this girl.
Sheki. Sheki, there you go.
Sheki, thank you. This girl supersedes everybody. Just on looks alone, on charisma that's oozing out, her like knowing like sass look she had, the dancing, of course. MNL, you have your biggest star.
Well, I have some good news then, because I'm just looking at her page, and
Please.
they're already getting ready for the 6th single, and that will be River. And she will be a double center with Abelaine. Do you need that? And I'm just gonna look here quickly. River could be also good if you keep that look. Could be very strong. I think that's the girl actually you talked about, DX.
Yep. No, yeah, could it be? No. Abby was, I think.
Yeah, Abby nickname. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, another girl I mentioned was Belle. It's totally someone different in general. So.
I'm actually looking forward to an MNL single coming out. Look at that.
I'm gonna compare one last thing here, and it's very quick. It's basically if this was a giant wrestling match, like a Royal Rumble, Gabby, she came in and she threw everybody over the top of the ring. Like she came in and she just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
I'm
like a
winner.
surprise entrance.
Bow
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Bow down. Like solid A just for her alone. So MNL fans, you better support that girl like big time. Like she's got the star power. She led the girl, although the other girls too, again, equally good. She just wow. So I'm gonna forgive them for all their usual problems they have with MV because that's not even the girls' fault. That's just again poor mismanagement, blah blah. It's the same old story with them. I don't even expect anything different at this point. But what I will say is this pleasantly surprised me because it was such star power packed into those couple moments that I felt it it just rose above everything I saw in the BNK video, which was like this to me. There was nothing that stood out versus this. They went a whole artsy, attempted David Lynchian route. I don't think they quite got there, but I feel like it didn't matter.
They got this one actually. So
yeah,
very good.
So good job, MNL.
All right then. Before we move on to the other MV, I want to talk about. We have still a lot more MVs to go to. Colin, let's talk about this that happened with BNK48 since you were quite in this whole MNL situation, so I want to hear you talk.
Yeah, sorry, Colin.
Okay, so what is happening currently with this graduation, or not graduation, exits basically of BNK members, and then something to do with their theater, and little news in there.
The one about the 3 members, I don't know anything more in particular than what has been said, keyword said. I'm not sure what's going on. I just heard that, at least the impression that I got was, for some reason or another, they want to leave the group, but contractual wise they can, because when you want to leave, apparently you have to have a conversation, you have to with the management, and then there's a talk basically, which you would assume. But if there is work, then they can't really, because it's still their management who arranged that. So it's messy. I don't know anything in particular with that topic. It's just weird. The only thing I can point out that anyone else would point out is that these 3 members were members that did not participate in the upcoming Susenkyo. At least they didn't, the forum, the application, they didn't write that, so they didn't want to join for whatever reason. It's weird. It's iffy, but it's one of those things that you kind of need to wait what's going on. I believe none of them are getting a graduation stage, but don't quote me on that.
No,
it's just really weird what happened.
Okay, so what the thing is, though, you need to remember, these members are on a contract. And as Job is declaring here on the Facebook page he did, they're under contract, and it says in the contract if you want to leave the group, graduation, it still needs to come to terms to with basically negotiating, or like you still have like obligations like unplanned, and if you basically say, well, I'm not coming to show up, then that gets terminated because one side is not agreeing to the other side, and by contract you need to have an agreement before you can finish something out, in aka a graduation. We've seen this for years, that people want to announce a graduation or have feeling want to graduate, but there's like, yeah, but we need to find a concert for you or location for you, or we need to plan this. You cannot say like some people, and we talked about Hinatazaka 46, like, I quit. That whole thing. That's like, wait, but you have a contract situation, and there's this whole thing about this. So with this case, yeah, it still sucks that they're leaving not and on a good note. But yeah, you did sign a contract, and it may be more details coming later date. But just saying you want to quit, it's basically, well, you can't quit like that since you have obligations since the contract you signed. There's always a whole plan in there. That's why they make contracts. It's not like, okay, sure, bye. That doesn't how it works. That doesn't work in the real world as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not a good thing, and it doesn't bring good publicity out of this. But it doesn't change the fact that now the fans, basically in BNK, are being like, you hate the term word you said, like the boycotting situation. That's another situation, right?
Yeah, that's something else. This one I can kind of tell a bit better. So a while ago, I don't exactly remember when, BNK official changed their name to I Am, and somewhere along the line, after that, they also announced that they would be launching a boy group, apparently, which I heard, but I was like, maybe that will take so long before that becomes realized. But they are called the Brothers, and what happened was they're members. There's a page, not sure, I think Facebook maybe, or could have been YouTube, and a video was posted where they show them rehearsing, yada yada yada. Turns out anyone who watches it noticed that the place where they are practicing is the BNK48 theater, which that strikes a chord with everyone, because they're not BNK. That's the BNK theater, a theater that was built, financed by fans who got nothing really that much back. It was basically, the way that I see it, donating money to a cause for a nice future. That's it. So basically, the fans are upset that management, I Am, has allowed a boy group to practice. I heard maybe only one day, so but they let them practice in the home, the sacred place of the BNK theater,
their temple,
which is a no-no. Though I will kind of say that it is still their group, their building. So
yeah, who owns the building?
They own the building, so in a way, morally, yes, that's true. They cannot do that, but
get it. I understand.
It's really conflicting. Again, I love you people, but from an outsider perspective, it's like, it's the ground. Though I will still agree that it's a stupid decision, that it shouldn't have been a thing in the first place. And I mean, in the sense that they shouldn't have practiced there, because it's also the BNK ground. The girls are rehearsing there. Their theater is there. So it's like, go find another place. Finance, whatever. If you can do it with BNK, why don't do that with that group?
I get it, but I also don't get it.
Yeah, I can get that. Yeah.
It's like I get why they're upset, but it's like, really, do we need to have this much controversy out of it? Is it such a big deal? Yes and no. It's more the communication behind it, the lack of communication.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the bigger situation. That's the problem. If you just would inform it, like, hey, we are announcing a new group, and to build up experience, let's coerce in the theater where it all began, or something like that. It's like a story just to inform them. It's like, hey, we're about to do this, and basically, because they weren't told anything, it's like, well, at least you could have said something. It doesn't feel like we're not supporting, or they don't appreciate the support the fans are giving. I think that's the whole reasoning behind this. But in the end, I'm like, I just don't make too much a big deal out of this.
They did release a statement, quote unquote apology. They also did an interview, but they did something, if I'm right, something very stupid. They made it look like a live thing, but it wasn't live. It was kind of pre-recorded. Not 100% on that, but there was an interview afterwards, which I didn't think was a good idea in the way they did it. In any case, you should always have a live interview, just straight out live and not cut anything. And I think they did that, which is not a good idea already.
Whoops.
But they have said they have apologized. I haven't heard since, though there's been a large outcry from fans that they were not happy. Understandably so. with it. But again, boycotting, I'm not a fan. I don't think that's good. You can always voice your opinion, but it's boycotting. I'm just not a fan of it. It's very messy, very stupid that they've done this because, well, the general election is coming up a few weeks now, 3 weeks I want to say.
Yes,
which is already something that they were heavily focusing on. And on the other hand, they just had a pretty monster hit with Dong, which is now the second highest viewed music video of their channel. So that exploded, literally. They become massively popular. So it's really dumb that they've done something so easily avoidable. I'm not that surprised, but it's still really stupid to begin with. This could have been
it shouldn't have happened at all actually. So it's more like you can't have some unknown group practice in the theater that basically the fans built. It feels like a slap in the face of the fans. That's how I perceive it right now. So
and they felt it.
Yeah.
Derek, you have some.
But, Colin, I have a question. Maybe because you can answer this. This group, the boy group, it's under the same management company.
Yes.
And this management company owns the theater.
I'm pretty sure that they own the theater, but the fans did help in financing.
They helped finance it. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I guess I'm going to take on an unpopular opinion here, I guess, amongst all you guys, but I think it's incredibly, I don't want to use any real negative words here. How about this? I'll just say this. Fans, shame on you. Shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Because 2 reasons. One, you guys should be supporting idols in general in Thailand. Guys, girls, where they play, what they do. You guys don't really have a lot of them. And guy idols, to me, are just as legitimate as girl idols. In Japan, there is... Obviously, the girl idols kind of rule everything, but there are tons of guy idols here that do a fantastic job. I've been at shows and I've worked shows where the groups I've worked for have played with boy idol groups, and I got to tell you, they're some of the most fun shows I've ever done. The fans that come out for these shows are absolutely ridiculously devoted. I'll give you a good example. Like when I was working with Necroma, they would play with this group called Black Sheep Syndrome, which are all boy idols. And the Black Sheep guys are great. They're wonderful, really good dudes, solid dudes. And their music's catchy and it's interesting. Their fans are insane. They make the male otaku fans look really like you need to catch up because it's all girls. Some guys, there's a few guys. But the thing that I thought was most interesting when I did the Bupon tables, and we're doing the checkies for the 5 members of Necroma or whatever, or 4, I think at that time. I can't remember. On average, we do a decent amount every night. It was about, between 60 to 100 checky every night, which is not bad for 5 members, okay, in an hour of taking checky. The Black Sheep Boys, okay, now 60 to 100 checky, that's, we go through 1 box of checky film. You get 2 packs, and each pack has 10 film in it. So each box is 20. So we go through maybe 4 boxes. These guys go through cases of checky film. Cases! Me and Ricky, I remember one time, we were looking over at their... it's just lines of the same girl, but they loop, and they loop, and they loop. And we're just looking at... They have cases. And we're just like... They have to have staff for every guy. And it's like... It's unbelievable. And it's okay. And so it's like, I was thinking like boy idols are where it's at. They're amazing. So I'm just going to tell you, in a way, the approach of the management is very Japanese centric, how they handled that. Nobody in Japan would care about that. Nobody would care about the fact that these boy idols would practicing at this place. I understand the fans on some degree that think, oh, we paid for this, we should have say. No, you have no say. You gave something, thank you very much. That's the management's decision. Why don't you trust your managers? Because up to this point, they've done a pretty darn good job of making BNK easily one of the best foreign groups outside of Japan to emulate the Japanese model almost perfectly. Almost. And on top of that, it's not your theater. No offense, it's not your theater. And if they want to have another group that they're managing practice there for the practice, for the feeling of it, to be on a stage. I mean, I'm sorry, if I was a manager, I'd be like, why would I go rent a studio? I got a perfectly good theater right here. They can use it. And how do we also not know they're not going to be like I say sister group to BNK, but I guess it's brother group.
Yeah.
How like they might be the male alternative. Why wouldn't you support that as a fan? Why wouldn't you be like totally down with that?
It could also be a temporary situation. It's like, hey, they're new,
Yeah,
they need to practice somewhere, and we're building the theater. It's not done yet. It happens a lot. But I get the idea to them, like the theater is a temple to them. It's where they pay homage, it's a shrine, and it feels like it's being invaded by something else. It's something's not supposed to be there.
Literally, because if I read what I read correctly, the girls had to go elsewhere because the boys had to rehearse there.
So
I mean, that's just a scheduling thing. I mean, that happens in Japan all the time. It sucks, but it's like, if a group rents this one studio all the time and they can't go there because somebody else who cares? Especially if it's the theater. AKB is a donkey. You know how many groups have been on that stage that isn't AKB? You know how many times like all the other sister groups will go there, they'll practice. It's not AKB's main group. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's boy or girl. Sex has no difference here to me because, again, boy idols are just as important, just as equal as female. And if you say anything different, you're sexist. Not saying you, Colin. I'm saying just in general. So I'm saying, like, it's just, to me, I think the management has nothing to apologize for. I think the fans should apologize for being, no offense, to being pretty petty. This is pretty elementary. I think you should support this. I think this is a beautiful thing, and I think overall, from a Concasian standpoint, I don't even see remotely anything wrong with this. I think if anything, I'd be super happy that there's going to be a boy group, especially if I'm a female and like I want to support on a female. Like, maybe you can get all these female otaku to come in, because I'm telling you, in Japan, the female otaku for the male idols, they make all the male idols look silly. They make them just. You want to talk about devotion. And so I think this could be BNK's whole other wave. And I to me, there's a dream. Yeah, and this is why I'm saying this. This is the hook for all of you, for everybody listening, for my fellow co-stars here. Here's the hook. 10 months from now, this idol group, this boy idol group is good, they're solid, they're ready. And BNK decides to have this really amazing show one night at their theater. And then guess who they have as stars there? The boy idols, and they come out and play. What? That's wrong? You're going to ban them? You're going to say that, our sacred temple's been invaded?
Didn't happen in AKB when TM Revolution showed up.
Yeah, if you're going to support the boy idols later down the month when they're polished or great and everybody loves them, you better support them now. And part of supporting means giving them a chance to practice in space. Again, I'm coming from a staff point of view. There is nothing wrong what they did. Nothing at all. And I'm sorry, fans, you don't own the theater. It's not yours. Thank you for contributing. You don't, as far as I know, you guys don't have stock in it. You're not on the board. So you gave it. It's great. It's beautiful. I understand you did it for the girls, but if this is going to be their like sister group / brother group, they're like the male version, support that, man. Don't be petty. Don't be petty about this. And also, you guys have bigger things to worry about, like the Sasankyo, like Colin said. You guys just have one of the best MVs like ever for your group come out. Really, you guys want to now make it about this? Something that should not, at least in Japan, it would not be an issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm just saying.
So,
what I will add to that, otherwise people will point it out. Roughly, basically, there was a card, or there is a card that basically cost money. I believe it's like less than 600 euro for us, which they got minor perks from. That basically said this: you have donated, loose term, to the theater to have it be built, and you get this little tiny card. How much, if that's legally, if that holds up, I don't know. I only know there is a card which shows that they gave money to help build the theater. That's all. I don't know if it has any legal...
But here's the thing. I'm AKB, and I create this group called SK48, but they don't have a theater yet. So I want them to practice at the AKB theater. You're going to complain as an AKB fan? Come on. Does it make a difference if they're boys? Is that the issue? Is they're male? Like, because if that's the issue, well, then that's sexist and that's stupid. And I'm sorry, but y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Because boy idols in Japan, at least in Japan, they have equal status, and they should have equal status everywhere. You know, it's usually the other way around, unfortunately. But if that's really the case here, you guys need to learn about idol culture a little bit more. And in idol culture, boys are there. You can be up on stage and be an idol. There's no problem there. And again, if this is going to be an extension of this management's company to further expand BNK, like for example, if Chiang Mai had to practice on that stage, would anybody have a problem? If you say no, then you better not have a problem with this, because if this is going to be a brother group of this group, then shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Now, if it's a completely foreign thing, not with BNK at all, like it's like some other thing, then I could see that's a legitimate gripe to even that to a degree. But come on,
Okay.
get over it.
Very good then. Very good. DX, by the way, are you blowing in the mic, or is that like a fan in the background?
I think it's a fan actually. So.
Okay, just hearing that.
The wind storm.
A little higher on that note.
Okay.
Okay. We said about the Senbatsu that's coming up, the general election, and the preliminary results were released. So, Colin, is there anything big difference or like shocking on this list? Because I'm looking at it and I see Cherprang at 4th place, Mobile at 1st place. That's
that made me happy.
Music on 3rd place and Jane on 2nd place. So. Just seeing the name is pretty solid for the first expectants. Didn't expect Cherprang to be a little lower on the list compared to the voting. Well, maybe there's more final stretch.
You'll have to look at the voting for a bit,
So what do you think of this? Is there anything that's like very controversial or out of the ordinary when you look at this list?
I am happily surprised that Jane got this high. I say happily. I think she's fantastic. I'm very happy that she got that high.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I'm like, I underestimated her fans. Because I didn't think she would rank. Not in the prelims as high as she did. I thought she would lower, and maybe she will still get lower in the ranking. So if this stays like that, I'm super happy, and also very surprised, but in a very happy way. Mobile, I was like, yeah, awesome. If she wins, I would also be very happy. Music, I'm like, yeah, that was the end result of last year as well.
Yeah.
I think, pretty sure. Someone needs to check for that for me, please. And Cherprang 4th, that was okay. I think it's good. I mean, I love Cherprang. If she wins, not the worst thing, but I do hope that someone else wins because I think that's more fun. Namnung 5. I mean, I if she wins, would also be amazing. Other than that, no one in particular. I mean, Janice dropped to 12 in the prelims.
Yeah,
it's like almost 3,000 votes she got already compared to like 1,500 by Mobile. So that surprised me. Pun is 9, and I hope that she gets higher. That as well.
I'm surprised about the vote totals compared to number 1 and the one who's in 48th place. That's more than 10,000, 15,000 basically almost.
Yeah, something, yeah.
That's true, but the entire... Okay, so there's the Senbatsu, top 16, Undergirls 17 to 32, and there's the Next Girls, which is an addition from last year, 33 till 48. Haha.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly Next Girls is CGM. Izurina is there, 34. I hope she gets higher than
as well.
That's true. She is the... 37, the highest new member, because Izurina is 34, but Aum is 26. She's the other CGM member, BNK member that got transferred to CGM. Right. I don't think she ranked last year, but I could be wrong. Maybe have like a quick check, but I don't think she did. So hey, no, she didn't. No. So that's good. See where that goes. I hope that CGM does well. I'm not sure if they will get someone higher than 30, but
if you would
we'll see, because again, they're new.
If you get all the votes that are currently in the Next Girls category, and you put them on Cherprong's voting, she would still not be first place currently.
Well,
really,
there's still some time to go. This is the first day.
Yeah. It's just amazing to me that there's so much difference in voting. But we'll see. It's still interesting. You know, elections are always a fun time to on that. So looks great.
I hope it will be a fun event. Hopefully, I hope there will be a second prelim, but I don't think they will reveal the votes.
No,
because I don't think they did that last year.
No, I think they're going to reveal the ranking and not
only the ranking.
Yeah.
So let's see. This is an interesting list. If this would be the final list, I would have been surprised that Janice would be 12.
Yeah, same here.
Happily surprised by Jane getting second. Mobile winning would be awesome. I hope Pun would get higher. I don't think it will be the final list, but I look forward to what will happen and how.
Yeah, we've still got a couple of weeks to go, so.
Yeah, still some time. When was it? 20th March 20th.
Yes.
About a month from now.
Yeah, about a month.
I can't remember. But in mid of March. But yeah, we'll see what will happen. I look forward to it. And on top of that, there are also some videos.
Who watched it? Appeal.
I only watched one, and you guys know it. That's Chaprang. A lot of meow, 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 meow.
Lots of meow. It was like having a cat somewhere.
Was
Did you
very funny.
recognize what she was meowing?
Did I recognize what she was meowing? I'm sorry about the background, by the way. Apparently, my neighbor thinks like, yeah, let's just drill a hole in right now. What was she meowing?
She was meowing 8 different songs. Which is very fun.
Wow.
It was very fun. I don't speak cat, but that was it was very fun. Basically, she did 365 day paper airplanes. Okay. Jabba Jab, which they already did. Another song, Hajimete no Hoshi. Okay. Teacher. Everyday Kachushka. Hotai Sokudo Yuetsukan. Great. Flying Get, hey, that would be awesome.
Hey.
And we're what the people. I mean, okay. So basically, what the gif of that is that these 8 songs could be songs that if she wins, again, whoever wins can choose.
She gets to choose song.
So maybe one of these 8 songs
that would be cool.
Could be great. I don't know, Chabacha, but we'll see.
I think because she is still a big fan of Okada Nana, she wants to center that.
Yeah, basically.
Which I don't know if they can do that. Another Jabaja, I don't know. I don't think they will, but I will see. But it's very fun, simple. She looks totally adorable at the end. It's very fun, like very good appeal video.
Anyone else you want to talk about appeal videos or?
I've only watched Chaprang.
I'm very biased on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched all. Other than that, I can only. Namnung was beautiful. She was an angel, literally. Which was I think she was the second highest viewed appeal video. But I've only watched English subs, which a group of people did. They referred to them as Poker Dealers 48. I find that very funny.
I have a feeling Namnung is going to be the dark horse for this. Thank you, to be quite honest.
I agree. I really look forward to where she will rank in the end. I'm going to be very surprised if she does not get at least top 5. I'm going to be shocked. I think she will get there. Other than that, Pun was great because she wrote a song herself for to appeal, and I think it's very good for her to do so because she can do that with a guitar. It was very great. And other than that, most of the BNK videos were very fun. I think the posters are more interesting, but that's me. But the videos were very good, and there are subtitles for it, so everyone can enjoy it. CGM was alright. There was not one that stood out to me, sorry. But it was still... It was alright. It was very good. I look forward.
Their first time, so...
Yeah, they, like I said earlier,
even their election posters are relatively more.
Yeah, that's true. We already saw that with the posters, so not that surprising that you can also see that in the videos. But we'll see what will happen. I still look forward to the event. I hope it will be a very fun event, like last year. I hope it will be good. I hope.
Great, my neighbor.
Thank you, neighbor.
It's like
Thank
a little
you.
background noise.
Oh man.
All right, so we are already in an hour and a half almost, but we still have 2 more MVs we need to talk about, and I would like to end it after that, to be honest. So first up, we want to talk about this last time. We didn't have a chance, but we watched now is Hinatazaka's 46 Naze.
Naze.
Derek, I would like you to go first because you really want to talk about this. So let me hear about Naze.
So, Naze is a pleasant surprise. I'm not the biggest fan of Hinata. They haven't really done anything that's really wowed me up to this point. Now they have. Naze sounds so. First of all, it's beautiful. The song composition, solid. They do a few things I don't particularly care for. One of the things that is so common in every AKB like world, or like this idea is like when you have a song and it's going real well and you get to a bridge part in the song and then you modulate the key up, and like High Tension does it actually, the AKB version High Tension does it, and I've never been a fan of that. I think that's a lazy way to write a song, because what you're doing is essentially you're modulating a key up and making that be different for that part of the song versus making a whole different part for a song. So that's the only criticism I have for Naze, is they do that, and it kind of, I don't say it ruins the song for me because it doesn't ruin it, but it's like I wish they would have kept with the creative vibe that they have going in this song right from the minute it starts. Because right from it starts, it's like I thought I was listening to a Chica group, because it has a Chica vibe, a Chica feel. Like it's a little bit edgy, it's a little like alternative sounding. The music's beautiful. It very much reminded me of Yanakoto Sotomuto, and just like very Yanamu and its approach, and of course, Yanamu's my group. So it's like I was like hooked in. MV wise, gorgeous. I mean, I don't have much to say about the MV per se, because I was so hooked on the music. The beginning part and the verse are solid gold, and even just for that, the first part alone, it's song of the year for me up to right now. Just because they nailed a part of like the world that I'm in on a regular basis, but they did it on a major level. I'm not saying they took a risk by doing that. It's pleasant to the ear, so I don't see there's no risk there. But I would say like they captured this very how do I put it? Like a summery vibe that sort of has this sadness to it. And again, when you go Major Idol, it seems like the trend is let's be super happy in all of our songs because we're Major Idol. We can't be that sad, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying that's always the case, but it just feels like that's what it's always major key stuff. This had a very minor key feel, very like, yo, we're going to get serious on you for a minute. And I got to be honest, just that beginning part when that one girl nails that pre-chorus hook with her voice, and her voice as she spirals up, it's like, oh my god, whoever you are, come to the idol world that I'm in, superstar, because you got it. Like that girl has it. Again, Hinata fans, I'm not a Hinata fan. Couldn't name him a single member. So please let me know you know what I'm talking about. That pre-chorus part, right before they jump into that chorus, that little up bridge with the vocal, that is the hook. And I'm a big sucker for hooks. If you got a song and it has even a little bit of a hook, okay, I'm in. I can be in. This has an undeniable hook in that little pre-chorus. I wish it was the chorus, because then this would be the banger. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You could not touch the song.
Oh, we know the chorus.
Yep.
Yeah, well, of course. But the pre-chorus, that little banger slice hook there, that girl, oh my god, she nails it. She sounds just like Nadacha from Yanamu. So kudos to you for nailing that. Song of the year up to this point. MV, fairly good, fairly beautiful. I mean, just beautiful how they did it. I think they were continuing with the pool vibe. Let's drain the pool and dance in the pool vibe, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm on the right MV there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, but it's overall. I don't know. What did you guys think? Because I've been dying to hear your opinions. I've been really dying to hear it.
All right, it's
Go ahead, Robin.
To me, it's long as first.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
is long.
the problem is,
I agree.
The chorus is repeating too much. It's Naze,
wait.
Naze.
Wait.
Yeah.
before you go on, do you know why you feel it's long? Because of that modulation. Because all you're doing is you're upping the key, but you're singing the same thing.
Yeah, it goes
That's why I don't
up,
like
up, 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 and then it goes up, 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 up. That basically that keeps going, and then suddenly dance break. That like then that between moments like and then we're back. It's like okay,
small break.
But I get it because it's a hook. And you're
Yeah.
feeling like you're floating, and you keep hearing
Yeah.
that nice little piano combination with what is that? So basically, it's like a very high tone with a sensing piano style in the background of that, and that's very pleasant to the ears. So it's very sweet, very floaty, and it's very harmonizing. So that's why it's very appealing to this. But the problem is if you do if you cut down the short, and they did this before, it's the same song 3 times. And when you cut it out, the song itself is about what, maybe 1 minute 30 or something. Do that 3 times, and then you get the 5-minute song that's for God no reason in there. Yeah, it repeats itself a lot. That's a downside for me. But again, this is purely if I hear this in the background or something, I can just call myself being like singing like working, and or it's like naze naze na 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 na. That's basically the feeling I'm getting with this song. It's a good song. It's a very very strong song in this end. Yeah, if I have to compare it to anything else that come out so far in that group, what else did came out now? So it's like
Right, exactly.
go ahead, Colin.
Eski, Hinatazaka's main single, JKT, BNK, Eyes One, that you guys have not talked about yet,
Not
but
yet.
wanted to.
Not yet. It's gone.
But if I compare it to now, then Naze is stronger than Fiesta. Just little spoilers ahead.
I'm gonna give you that. Yeah.
But I agree, Derek. It's a very good song in the end. Just too long to my part.
I would accept that actually. I'm kind of in the same park with you with that.
They did it with Do Re Mi as well. It's like Do Re Mi, Do Re Mi.
Yeah.
It's
Do
just
Re
a
Mi,
tad
Do
bit
Re
too long,
Mi.
you know. Yeah. It's a
Do
tad
Re
bit
Mi,
too
Do
long.
Re Mi.
Well,
Yeah,
because
something
of
like
the
that.
modulation. When you do that
Yeah.
modulation, you better be real smart about it. I've never liked it because it always makes me feel like, oh, here we go, we're four now.
Feels
You
bored, yeah.
know? Yeah. So.
Basically, yeah, that's the same vibe I've got, to be quite honest. More like I can work on this, but it feels like the song is repeating itself time and time and time after again. It's a good song, but just don't repeat the song again and again. Do it twice tops, so it's like a 3-minute song instead of 4.5, because after 2 times it becomes repetitive for me, and then it's a turn off for me pretty much. But other than that, it's actually a really good song and I enjoy it, but it's just too long. That's the only gripe I have with this.
Okie dokie. Colin, do you have anything to add, or you're gonna move on to the one that we also didn't see? I think.
I watched it, but it didn't do a thing to me. The MV had some things where I'm like, yeah, that this is something different, but inherently, nothing particular did it for me. And the song I've already forgotten. It's like it didn't stick with me on any level. It was well done, but
Cool.
That pre-chorus hook didn't get you? Really? Like that didn't hit you?
No.
Ah, that's crazy. Okay, all right. Cool though. I mean, well, me and you are so built totally different with music, but that's cool.
That's how it works here.
That's how it works.
And
I love it.
finally, the well-weighted return of Eyes One with
After all controversies, yeah.
Fiesta. Okay, it's good. It's okay. It's fine. It's again the Eyes One members, beautiful, amazing. Their movement, great.
Yep.
The song, it's cookie cutter, same style.
Yeah.
Basically, they open up. I don't know if that was intentional, but it's basically the same opening as Violetta, and I really like Violetta. The movement in there, the clips in there, the visuals, amazing, high quality. There's one problem in this song that I really have a gripe with, and can you guys guess it before I go off on it? What's my biggest problem in this entire damn song?
I have no idea.
You want to take a guess, Derek?
I'm going to give the floor to you. Go for it.
Go ahead, DX. Go guess it.
No,
Please.
no.
There's multiple times, and they later in the video they show it. What they're doing is they have a glass with this stupid little ball or something,
Yeah.
or cherry, and they put it in, and you hear the bloop. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Oh.
I hate it. Hate it so much. It ruins the entire
So
song for
true.
me. It's the
So
bloop.
true.
Why? Why?
That's true.
Plump. Like why? It even ends the song with it. It ends the plump in there. And you know, it's the standard thing in there. I have much more hate for when they did their live, because I forgot how much I hate actually Korean TV direction. That's even sometimes worse than the MNL version. In the live version, the dancing is amazing, but there are 3 cameras always set up, and these cameramen are set. You zoom in, you zoom out. You zoom in, you zoom out. That's basically what you need to do. It's like zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out on the beat, basically. And I cannot follow the dancing. I would like to see the dancing. I would like to see the performance. It's not basically zoom in their face, zoom out, zoom in, and then quickly cut to the next one, and zoom in and quickly. It's basically someone is holding a button with the zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. You know how that, like just sitting in there, like
Yeah, smoking a cigarette. Just oh yeah. Gotcha.
And it really annoyed me so much. It's like I'm trying to follow it, but it's like trying to watch it like this. And then the song is over, and they cut to all the individual members going like. That's every time they do it. It's like cool, thank you. I forgot that I hated this so much. It's really horrible. But the song itself, it's very solid. It's better than La Vie en Rose. It's not better than Violetta. It's a solid one. Welcome back. In the meantime, Umbi is taking hiatus since she's not feeling well. Good job, good start, good return.
Good return, yeah. Poor Umbi.
I've seen a lot of IS1 stands, or what do you call them, like fans, or Wiz1, was it right?
Wiz1, yeah, Wiz1.
They're going crazy, but they're looking at like this through glasses, and well,
It's a biased kind of thing, yeah.
they really missed IS1, and I'm very happy for the support. Good that they're back. Hopefully get more out of it. Solid, not that great, not that amazing to me, but yeah, Bloomp.
That's the conclusion.
Yeah. To be quite honest, when I saw the video, I had a feeling that Bloop was going to annoy Robin so much. I didn't want to mention it, so you see him blow up like that, is more like, oh my god.
That's so funny.
I don't know what's more red, the cover behind him or his face. Love you, Robert.
Colin, that was good.
Very good.
Colin,
Okay.
what'd you think, man? What's your thoughts on?
Oh, I didn't watch it either. I like the
okay,
title,
okay.
Fiesta. It's a good title. I like that, but
I like the title.
Yeah, same here.
It's the only thing I like, but we'll get to that.
Well, DX, do you have anything to add?
Well, to be quite honest,
UK man, by the way.
yeah. To be quite honest, though, the song itself felt okay. It felt good to me. It's good for a comeback song since all the controversies and such. But it's a one-time listen and then it's done kind of thing. To be quite honest, so if I were to grade it, it's going to be like a C or a B, something like that for me. To be quite honest. It's good, it's there, but it's nothing too good or too bad. It doesn't stand. It's kind of flat. So there's that.
All right, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, well, Robin, again, you kind of nailed it. I mean, that now that I think about it, that was pretty annoying when I watched it. But for me, the issue is this: like, IS1 had a crazy past several months, man.
Yeah,
like they've
wow.
just had a lot of turbulence, a lot of issues, and with scandals and whatnot. That they're not even really. That was like out of their hands. But think about the milieu, the culture around them all exploding, and yet how many of these girls left the group?
Yeah, none of them.
None.
I give them so much love and so much respect for hanging in there, for being a group. That being said, I'm going to give them a pass on this. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. Honestly, it's neither for me. It's just there. I'm not a big fan of most of IZ*ONE's music anyways. It's never been like on a Blackpink hook, drop, sink, and destroy my life level. Like, but that's okay. That's okay because it's good star power. There's great girls. Through our the one girl who always comments in our section, I've really come to know them. Crazy Girl, I think.
Yeah, Crazy Girl.
Like she has allowed me to experience them in a way that I wouldn't maybe normally just from watching for the purpose of talking for the show. She always leaves all these links. She gives us all this information. I feel very close to them. So in that sense, I feel very bad that this is their return MV. I wish it was their second MV back. I wish it was their second song back. I wish they would had a much stronger, deeper, like, oh my god, this is the song of the year. Blackpink's like last year. I want them to blow me away. And if there's anybody that can do it, it's a K-pop group because they always seem to top each other every year. It always gets crazier and crazier in the K-pop world. The creativity over there. Even though a lot of it's emulating Western culture, they do a great job of it. They are experts at taking something and making it their own, and I like that. That's creativity. This song had zero creativity to it. Yeah. It had zero appeal to me. It's just there, like I said. But I'm giving the girls a pass. I'm giving the whole production team a pass because they had the worst possible. What, half a year you could have as a group.
6 months.
I mean,
6 months.
I mean, in terms of all the stuff going around them, I thought they were done. I really thought they were done. Not one girl left. That's amazing. If this was a Japanese group, like they'd all be gone. They'd be like, peace out. They'd have some excuse. We're gonna go study. We're gonna go have health issues. They would have been out. They would have. I mean, these girls stuck together. Now, whether or not they did it because their contracts made them, I don't know. Because K-pop contracts have been known to be notoriously difficult to get out of. But that even being said, I give them all the credit in the world for just being here. So I'm gonna give a pass. I'm not gonna even grade it. I'm just gonna say, there goes Robin.
Reset again.
Okay.
Resetting.
Sorry. I'm gonna say that they do better. I know they can do better. Yeah. Those girls are talented beyond all words, and they have a good production staff. Whether I may not like all the songs, but I can't also deny the fact that it really works for the wise ones, for the fans, and that's cool. I respect that. Go ahead, Rob.
They have half a year left, and then it's over.
And they still, I mean, this is just they're back.
Colin, yes.
Someone corrected.
Yeah.
Because I didn't quite remember, but their contract is up until April of next year.
Yeah.
So they still have
year, right?
They froze it, then.
Oh, yeah?
That's right.
I don't know.
That happens as well, and because of wrestling, I've listened to that as well.
Yeah, WWE contracts are like
they
that,
follow like independent contractors, and since there was a situation out of their hands, then their contract gets frozen since obligations of performing and certain dates showed up. So basically, then they got extended for 6 months. So it's going to be a 3 years thing.
I support Sakura-tan. I support all these girls. The K girls are beautiful. We had a lot of fun watching Produce 48, didn't we? Yep. And it was cool, and it was a pleasant surprise, and it was something we were really hooked into. Fake or not, I enjoyed it. So the thing is, like, these girls have had this crazy fantasy whirlwind of an explosion from this, and they've done phenomenal. They are the biggest thing in Korea, pretty much, or at least they had been, for that time. I mean, you couldn't go 2 feet here in Japan without seeing them everywhere either for a time. So the thing is, I give them a lot of credit. I think their comeback is going to be hard, especially leading off the song like this. But if it's working for the wise one, if it's working for the fans, I'm cool with that. Like, again, I don't like it. I think it's just, it's bland. It's there. I think it might be the worst thing I've seen from them. But when I say worst, I'm not even saying that. And that sounds critical, but it's more like I know they can do better. I know they can. I know they got it in them because the star power of that group is unreal. And again, their production team is fairly good. I mean, they turned those girls into mega superstars in a year. So like That's not easy to do, especially in K-pop where it's so crowded, And then on top of that, to do it in Japan as well and make them super famous here, that's ridiculous. So all kudos and respect to them. You can do better. Make your next MV be on a much better level. Make your next song be on a much better level, and we'll just say this will be a good one to see at the lives.
Yeah, true that. I'm just happy the comeback song isn't as bad as Buenos Aires because
Right, exactly. Thank you. That's a good point.
Horrible.
Good point.
Okay. Well, glad to be back and
last
see
thing,
what happens.
Last thing before we wrap up. 57th single from AKB48. The title has been revealed. Shitsuren Arigato. Thanks, Lost Love. Apparently. Michan is getting a graduation song. Type A makes me very happy.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Type B will be first campus song, which is basically. The name is weird. I think it's kind of like first years, freshmen.
Oh, okay.
With plenty of members. Asai Nanami, Omori Maho.
16 gen, basically.
16 gen.
No, not quite, because you also have Nishikawa Rei, Chiba-eri, and Yamamoto Ayaka, for instance. So let's see. I look forward to it. The other one is a Team 8 song, but it's like 11 members, so Team 8-ish. But it's been revealed. I look forward to it. A preview will be out Thursday on Neon's radio show. So
now they're trolling us before we even upload. Great.
Yeah. So hopefully by the next episode there's an MV out, so we can talk about it.
Would be fun.
But we'll see. It's something I still look forward to what it will be. Yes, there are 3 types. Normal types, which is weird. Normally there's 4, but hey, let's see what it brings. It's been a while.
It's been really a while, so
a long while.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay then. Then let's go into our wrap-up part of the show. Well, recommendations. I currently have none. Actually, nothing that I'm saying. Looking forward to this. Need to find out. No, actually nothing. I've been out of the loop on that side. So, you know what? I'm just gonna go look up some older stuff that I haven't seen in a while. Maybe to do that little history remembering on that side. Yeah, nothing. Oh wait, there's maybe one thing. Utage was last week. So
yeah, where's Mayu though? I don't think was she on?
Yeah, something's going on with Mayu, but we'll see. There are rumors, but it's weird.
No, I'm just gonna watch it anyway. It should be a good episode always. So watch that. That's my recommendation. Not much, I would say, but go ahead with that. DX?
I'm going on the K-pop side kind of thing for my recommendation this week. There's 2 songs I would like fans to check out. It's called Cherry Bullet Hands Up and Dreamcatcher's Scream. Both songs are girl crush kind of songs, and I really enjoy listening to them while doing my workouts. So I would recommend checking them out. Yeah.
DX, can you send the links after this? I want to check them out because I love girl crush stuff. Like I love it. So please send that.
We have it in the notes, and it's supposed to.
We have it in the notes.
It's in the notes already. So
yeah.
Cool.
Colin.
This week, funnily enough, there will be concerts by new units that debuted during the anniversary from the AKB anniversary from December. Today were 2. Some have had their names revealed, others not. But this week, as in when this video comes out this week, week 9 from the year 2020, there will be, I think it's week 9. There will be performances by the new units, and I look forward to that one, including probably my favorite one. I think it was Unit G, with Mayoshi, Yukarun, Kashiwaki Yuki, Megu, Machurin, Tomu, Miopon. So I look forward to that. Gonna be great. There have been 2 already, some more to come, 4 or 5, I think. So I look forward to that. I haven't seen the new ones, but I will check it out.
Cool. And finally, Derek.
Bunch of stuff. First of all, our Patreon thing should be coming up soon, I think. So if any of you feel like donating to our Patreon and you can ask questions. We'll be addressing those questions. I think probably the next time we'll get together. Yeah. So those are always super fun. You guys always ask the best questions. So please ask us some. We love answering them. We really do. Second of all, fans of this show, please in the comments, give us something really about what you guys feel in terms of your opinions, your thoughts. Keep it cool, okay? Because I know, like, for example, we're touching on some very sensitive stuff here. MNL, like, I understand why Colin's taking a mute point from that, because he doesn't want anything to do with it. That's how bad it's gotten in times in the past, and that's a shame, because I think we should all be able to express ourselves how we want. We're all opinionated. I'm really opinionated, if you guys haven't seen this by now. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want these girls to succeed. And you gotta, don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. We all are supportive of these groups. All of us, all four of us. We love these groups very much. So our comments are always coming from a good place, and I absolutely promise you there. So you do the same, okay? Please, because I read them all. I try to respond as much as I can, even my crazy busy schedule. I'm always trying to respond, and I really like when I see comments that are really well thought out and very smart, you know. And again, you guys that have insight, information about stuff, let us know. Like, for example, the outfits the BNK girls wore. I'm not trying to rag them. I didn't care for them, but are they culturally significant in some way? Because then maybe I would be more interested, because I love stuff that's culturally tied. I automatically get excited about stuff like that, because I like the idea of that. When you put thought into stuff, especially your culture, because I don't know your culture, we don't know your culture, share your culture. That's cool. Culture sharing is always really cool. So please let us know and do that. So that's my other recommendation. Another thing is, so this is a little bit more on the Chica side. The group that I am kind of sort of like in middle of working for, I'm staff right now for a group called Mary Bad End, and we're just rolling along, we're doing our thing. We gonna have some crazy changes this year, I think, all for the good. But there's another group I'm working for called Satanic Punish, and they just put up a teaser for their brand new single with their brand new, all 5 brand new members. 4 of the girls, I believe, they've never been idols before. And they're called Pray for Satan. It's a banger. It's I want to murder somebody when I hear this song. Like, I literally in the middle of the song want to stand up and punch somebody in the face. It's so brutal and so heavy, and just the lyrics are really intense. Murasaki actually wrote the song about March 11th, about the tsunami, because he lost his friends in that. But for me, it's like one of those songs. Like, if I was at a metal show, it's a dance song. Like, you want to swing. So and again, Mel, the death growler in it.
Swing or swing?
No, I mean, I'm talking like swing. I'm talking like
the Rainmaker kind of swing.
Rainmaking. I mean, because I used to do it all the time for Gusa Draw. I used to rainmake people right in their face. They used to do it to me. It was great. It was wonderful. It was blood everywhere. No, just kidding. But it's crazy. They're bringing that back. They're bringing the craziness of Idol back that I was attracted to in the first place, which is why I'm working for them in part. Also, like Mel, their death growler, they call it the death voice. The death voice girl. She's never done this. Like, she just started like a couple months ago, and she's like a natural born idol. She's a natural born leader. This group is ridiculous. And just a little bit of shameless self promotion here. You can pre-order their single at idolunderworld.com right now, and if you do, you can either get one random checky of a member, or you can get a group checky that I will take after I figure out how many pre-orders and stuff. Other thing is, so yeah, please support them. They're great. They're gonna be probably the biggest group in this whole underground scene by this time next year, if they can keep doing what they're doing. And they haven't even debuted yet. Their debut is March 7th. I'll be there, and if you're in Japan, go to Milky Way. It's them. It's Mary Bad End. It's Christine. It's gonna be the best show already of the year, I think. I lost both of my checky cameras yesterday. I was invited to Satanic Punish's dance rehearsal because I wanted to get an idea of their dancing, because I'm going to be doing their MV for the song. And also I need to take checkies of the girls, because at Idol Underworld, several of the members' checkies were sold out like overnight. So I went to go do that, and I literally lost both of my cameras. Now, the Insects Fuji 90 is about $197. My backup camera is about $67. I was completely devastated, because it's not only that, it's embarrassing to do this at an idol group. Thank God it was Satanic Punish. It wasn't like a brand new group, because that group, it's like anytime I can see them for the most part. I put a post up last night asking for help, just because, again, this is like the equivalent of a car for me. If I don't have a car, I can't go to work. If I don't have those shaky cameras, I'm done, because that's my livelihood. That's what I pay my bills here. Okay. And also on Saturday, I got 6 new groups to join Idol Underworld.
Nice.
6.
Whoa. Nice.
Yeah.
Getting busy.
Maybe 7 or
busy.
8. Yeah, it might be 8 by the end of this week.
You're turning into a record label, man.
Yeah, I mean, but one of the groups has like 7 members, and normally I take 20 Checky of each girl. So this weekend, I altogether between all the Checky I took, the Mary Bad End double live, I probably took 500 Checky with my camera. So it's understandable that yesterday maybe my camera was like, I'm done, because I've had it for 2 years. So I've definitely got my life out of the thing. In less than 10 minutes, I not only got money for the Insects 90, I got enough money to get 2 Insects 90s. And on top of that, I had more people messaging me. I had to turn people away. Okay? I love all of you. I love the Idol community. This is what people don't realize about Idol. We are a community. You guys, you didn't have to do that. I went and got 2 brand new Insects 90s today. I couldn't be happier, because now I can get back to my business, grow Idol, bring idols to the foreigners, which a lot of these Idol groups are finally starting to get it with me. Honestly, thank you. It's not so much a recommendation. It's a thank you. Keep supporting Idol like this, because this is how we grow. Even what we're doing here, this video, like commenting, critiquing, we're doing this for the sake of growing. It really is for growth. I mean, think about MNL. Think about what they did this week. They grew. I mean, small steps, but they grew. And that's what I live for. I live for those moments. We all do. And I just want to make that point very strong here to you guys. What you guys did for me, I mean, literally, today I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I love what I do. I love my job. I love my life because of stuff like this. Because I get to talk with Idol stuff with you guys. And it's just like, to see the community come together, that's what Idol's about. So if you're going to rag on a group that's practicing on a stage, don't. Support. Get into the spirit of supporting people, because this is what happens when you support people. You make dreams come true. You're making my dream come true. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And also my recommendation in all of that is to do something like this for people in the Idol community. Do something for your idols. You don't understand how even just a tweet to an idol can make a difference in that idol's lives. I know, because they tell me. And so, like, just go out there and be positive, okay? Please be positive, and please do that. And I think we're all gonna see this year be much better than last year, because last year was kind of like the Idol apocalypse.
Yeah,
so,
hopefully so. Thank you for that note.
Sorry, that was a little long.
It's okay. Then with that note, thank you for watching this episode of 48 Talk, and positivity.
Bye.
We'll see you next time then. Bye, everybody.
Jojo.
Happy 29th of February, everyone. Woo! Bye.
Woo.
Bye. Woo.